Hello everyone! Welcome to Katia Plant Scientist Corn Patch! That's right, this year I am growing the most iconic domesticated plants of the Americas. I have some squash here, I have beans over there, but today I'm going to tell you about this beautiful corn we have. So what makes this corn special? Well, first of all, corn is a very interesting plant. It is a domesticated type of grass that was probably domesticated in Mexico thousands of years ago. It has undergone so much selective breeding and mutation over the millennia that it looks nothing like its wild relative called teosinte. This type of corn is quite special. It is called painted mountain corn. Painted mountain corn has a lot of things in common with many Native American varieties of corn, but it is not actually an indigenous variety of corn. Rather, it was created in the 20th century through the combination of many types of Native American and Euro-Americans variety of domesticated corn in Montana. So this corn was created through this big genetic mixing. So in a way, painted mountain corn is very different from a typical variety of garden plants. With most kinds of garden plants or cultivars, what we want is consistency. We want to know that when we buy French breakfast radish seeds, all of those seeds are going to develop into perfect looking red and white French breakfast radishes. Not so with the case of painted mountain corn. Its strength is in its diversity. Because it's a mongrel corn made from the hybridization of dozens of different varieties of different statures and colors, it is a big genetic mix. The idea with painted mountain corn is that it's a highly adaptable species of corn for cooler climates. Some of its adaptations that make it a better choice for cooler climates with shorter growing seasons, like here in the UK, is it has a shorter stature. Although it requires some support, the painted mountain corn is better able to withstand the ferocious winds that we have here in the UK. That would cause taller, floppier corn just to fall over if it was exposed to too much wind, or at least severely damage the plants. Another adaptation is that it makes multiple shoots here, so it actually has more chances to make more ears of corn as it grows up, and therefore it's more productive. Let's talk about what happens as this corn goes from plant to corn cob. Now, of course, most of us have seen corn as a corn cob or corn kernels, and that is produced from this plant, of course. There are two aspects to the plant's reproductive structures. Let's have a look at the male part of the plant, which is currently on display. Now, I'm sure when you see this, you can see why corn is really a type of grass. Doesn't this look just like the grass seeds and grass tufts that you've probably seen out in meadows? This is the male part of the corn's reproductive structures, and it's called the tassel. The tassel contains pollen, and when the tassel is fully mature, it'll dust pollen over the other corn plants. So what is that pollen trying to get to? Well, it's trying to get to the ears of corn, which have not developed yet. But as the corn matures, the ears will be developing here in these little corners between the leaf and the stem. These may be the beginnings of the ears of corn, but since this is the first time I've grown it, I'm not 100% sure. Corn needs to be planted in a block-like formation. Let's take a look at the whole thing now. It's a great idea to plant your corn in this block-like arrangement. For corn needs to receive pollen from another genetically different individual in order for fertilization of the ears of corn to occur, so that the ears of corn can develop into the corn cobs we're familiar with. When the corn ears appear, they will have long tufts of corn silk. The corn silk is what catches the pollen. When the pollen interacts with the ends of the corn silk, this triggers fertilization and helps form the corn cobs. Every one of the strands in one of the corn silk tufts leads back to a kernel. So that is how ears of corn are formed. I'm very excited to share the results of my painted mountain corn growing with you later on this summer. And this is a new thing for me. I'm very excited to see how it goes. And with that, I'd like to encourage you to stay curious about plants. Thank you for joining me.